Well, Eliza Reid, I'm happy to say, the First Lady of Iceland, has decided to join us today, and so we're very thankful that she's joining us from Reykjavik. Hello, Ms. Reid.
Hi, nice to speak to you.
Well, you know, I was reading that you're from the Ottawa Valley, so I asked our producer, where in the Ottawa Valley? And he said Ashton, and it's a town of 200 people in current population. So did you ever think you, as this Ottawa girl from a small town, Ontario, would actually become First Lady of Iceland?
No. In short, no. I mean, I've lived in Iceland for 13 years now, and even in those 13 years, it hadn't been something that was on my radar. But obviously, we're both thrilled with what happened last night.
Well, both thrilled, and congratulations to the both of you. But, you know, the position of the presidency is, and as I understand it, akin to the role of Governor General here in Canada. So largely symbolic, but very high profile, very high ranking. How are Icelanders then receiving you, considering that you're a Canadian now in this very elevated role in Iceland?
Icelanders have always received me very well. I think they're very, very pleased. The current president, my husband won't actually take office officially until the 1st of August. And the president who's currently serving also has a foreign-born wife. So Icelanders are sort of used to that as well. And I've been living here for a number of years, so I have a dual citizenship, and I think they're very pleased. Icelanders think very fondly of Canada, and I think there's a lot of strong ties between the two countries.
Forgive me here, Ms. Reid, but I think it's fair to say that most people who who rather grow up in a small town Ontario and have to put up with Ottawa winters, think about moving south rather than north. What led you to Iceland?
It was my husband. I moved here for love, as they say. We met in England in graduate school almost 20 years ago, and our names were drawn together for a blind date. So you never know where fate will take you.
Drawn together in a blind date. So you were set up?
Yeah, it was part of a fundraiser draw, and he drew my name to take out on a date.
So apparently you were fated to become the First Lady of Iceland.
Something like that, maybe. Yeah.
You know, I also have to ask, though, because you mentioned the current president, as you've noted, and rightfully so, your husband doesn't take office until August. But the current president is resigning amid the scandal of the Panama Papers. Do you see yourself playing any type of role in restoring confidence in the country's leadership?
Well, it was the prime minister who sort of resigned as a direct result of the Panama Papers, and the president is mostly resigning because he served for 20 years. But I certainly think that my husband campaigned a lot on a platform of positivity and openness and sort of forward-thinking, fresh start, and people seem to really have taken that message and been really positive about it, and people, I think, see it as something, as a sort of fresh beginning to things. And he's the youngest person ever to be elected to hold the office as well, and I think that also says something about bringing in sort of a new generation into the post.
Well, your husband is an academic. He's not even a politician. I wonder the type of discussions the two of you had before he decided to take on this public role.
Well, he'd often appeared in public, at least as a political pundit on the news, and it was actually his regular appearances during the Panama Papers scandal in early April that sort of brought him more into the public eye within Iceland, which garnered him more recognition to run for president. And when people started encouraging him, and strangers started calling our house all the time, encouraging him to run, that's when we really started to discuss it seriously. And I always said to him as well, he should just go for it if he had the chance. I mean, you know, you would always regret not trying to do it, and really didn't have anything to lose. And it's obviously gone really, really well. It's
gone really well, and now you're going to play a very public role because you're going to hop on a plane, head to France, and cheer on Iceland in Euro 2016, a team that has really surprised many people at how well they're doing. Are you relieved there's no Canadian team to split your loyalties here?
I guess so. I think, you know, when Iceland would play Canada in hockey, I may have more issues, but I think with soccer, it's pretty good. And actually, a small clarification too is that we're not going to the game in an official capacity now, more as spectators, because again, he doesn't take office until the 1st of August. So it's also going to be nice to go and celebrate with everybody else who's there. We won't be off sort of separated into a different section or anything like that.
So you realize now that the day that Canada plays Iceland in a hockey game, we're calling you.
Yeah, uh-oh.
Ms. Reid, thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure.
And that is Canadian Eliza Reid, who's married to the president-elect of Iceland. She's speaking to us right now from Reykjavik.